What's going on, YouTube family? It's your boy Mike Macklin, aka Money Mike, the financial Thanos, because I'm snapping my fingers and I'm turning your financial problems to dust. Hey, I want to welcome you to my channel. Welcome you to my channel. Don't judge me. Want to welcome y'all to my channel. If this is your first time jumping on, hey, please consider subscribing to my channel and also hitting the notification bell. That way you know when I'm dropping new content. And while you're at it, if you enjoy this video, do me a huge favor. Let's do something with this YouTube algorithm and let them know you like what you're seeing, and go ahead and hit that like button. Hey, today I want to answer a question. Can I use my 401k for real estate investing? As you all know, each and every Tuesday I jump on and I kind of let you guys into the mind of Money Mike. Let you see what I'm learning about. Maybe some questions come to my own mind. So I want to find out for myself. So today, that's what I did. I decided to take a look at my 401k and see if it was a good idea to tap into that to get into real estate investing. So without any further ado, we're going to get into a video explaining about it. And of course, I'm going to let y'all know my comments, my situation. So let's go.
Can I use my 401k to invest in real estate? I get this question a lot, and it is a really good question because a lot of people have 401ks. So let's talk about it. So in this video, we're going to cover if you can use your 401k. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about, not only if you could, but should you. Two, I'm going to give you a step-by-step that you can follow if you do decide to withdraw from your 401k. And then number three, I'm going to tell you if you do, what to do with the money and how to do it so that you don't lose a lot of your 401k in the process.
All right.
When we're diving in and we're talking about whether or not you should use your 401k for real estate investing, we first want to talk about what a 401k is. Let me quickly just tell you what a 401k is and what the purpose of it is, because yes, you can use it for real estate investing, but we got to kind of go back just one quick step. So let's do that. So 401k, most people know this from their job. It's a retirement account where you can put in dollars for your retirement that are not taxed, okay? So many employers offer this to their employees. They sometimes match what you have in your 401k, and you have this fund that's really for your retirement, okay? And it was set up by the IRS, kind of to help people save for their retirement. And unfortunately, many employers have gone away from pensions, and now we're totally into the era of 401ks. So there's over $1 trillion in 401ks right now. And this is a
I didn't know
really
that.
good amount of money that people should tap into for real estate investing. And I'm going to tell you why. So the reason why you might want to use your 401k to invest in real estate is because in most cases, most 401ks are not making very much money, okay? So I don't know what your 401k is doing, but on average, it's not as much as most people are making in real estate, just being honest with you.
I want to add a quick caveat to that as well. First and foremost, most people make more money in real estate than through a retirement plan. That's one. Number two, I'm going to say investing in real estate, it gives you more control than a 401k. As she was talking about, in a 401k, the company invests your money into different companies. Okay. And the success of it, the profit comes if those companies make money. If they lose money, your 401k loses value. So this is really why I took a look at this and why I wanted to answer this question. So let's see what else you got to say about this.
So in most cases, you have a 401k, and what they do with that money is they invest it in the stock market. So
right.
They buy mutual funds, they buy stocks, they buy bonds. They take the money that you put in there and they invest it. And
right.
they try to make a return on your money. So think about that for a second. What if you took that money and you invested it yourself instead of them investing it? Could you do it? Could you make more than they're making? Yeah, you probably could. On average, most people's 401ks are making about 6 to 8% per year, okay? So that's not really a ton of money. So just using a round number, if you had $1,000 in there at 6%, you would be making about $60. So again, that's not very much money. It does grow over time because yes, in there and it just consistently keeps making 6 to 8% per year, the fund will grow.
Yeah.
However, let's talk about this for a second, because I'm not going to ever tell you to be irresponsible and just liquidate your whole 401k and go bet it on a flip. Yeah,
right.
That's crazy. We're not going to do that. But say, for example, you took a portion of that money out and you invested it in real estate, okay? And I'm not saying you have to use that money necessarily to buy a home, but you definitely could use that money to start your marketing or to get some properties going. Even maybe properties that you don't own that you can start making money off of. Yes.
Free game.
Start making money off of properties that you don't own. Yes, I have lots of videos and you can click that and we can learn about that. And that is still investing in real estate, and it'll be bringing you in capital, and then you can save that money and put that to the side.
Real quick, just want to jump on that one as well. It's actually a really good idea too, especially if you don't have a ton of money to get into the real estate investing game. That's why she's saying not to liquidate all of your assets, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to pull all your money out of your 401k. You always want to have that money. That's like side money, for down the road. But basically what she's talking about here is, hey, look, something that's getting really popular right now is this Airbnb. So getting Airbnbs, and what you could actually do, this is just some little free game real quick. What you could do is you could actually see if your landlord will allow you to Airbnb a property. So you can actually go rent a property. You can Airbnb it out. And basically, you don't even have to own that property now, and you can turn that into a B&B and start making some money for yourself. So that might be a good use for that 401k. Hey, you might take on a penalty, which is probably going to get talked about here later in the show. But again, if what you're making outweighs that, then hey, I think it's a good look. But we're going to see what else she got to say about this.
So again, you don't have to liquidate the entire 401k. But just look at what your 401k is doing, how much return on your investment are you getting, and then think about for a second, if you took some of that money, again, I'm never going to tell you to take all of it, and you invested it in your real estate business, how much better could you do than they're doing? The next thing that you want to consider is knowing that
strongly
your 401k is a retirement account. So depending on your age, there's probably going to be some penalties if you just withdraw that money out. And you really want to take that into consideration. Because the problem is, I won't say the problem, but with a 401k, you put in money that you were not taxed on, okay? So before you pay taxes on your income, they let you put that into that account. It's essentially tax deferred, meaning when you take the money out, you pay the taxes. So pros and cons there. We're not going to go there on this episode, but just know that there are usually penalties when you just take money out of your 401k. So I'm going to give you a quick way to get around that. So there's two ways that you can get around.
Okay, real quick, I do want to kind of talk about the penalty, because again, I want you to understand everything that goes into that decision. Okay, first and foremost, if you pull your money out before I believe it's 59 and a half years old, if you pull it out before then, you're going to get a penalty. Now, one of the cool things is, and I just learned this myself, is you don't have to pay that penalty up front. You can pay it up front if you want to, but you don't have to. You can actually pay it at the end of the year when you go to do your taxes. So that's one thing. So there is a 10% penalty on what you withdraw. But again, remember, you don't necessarily have to pay that up front. So that means you get more of that actual money. That's just a little free game and something to think about. Also, what you have to understand is that money is now considered earned income. Okay, it's now considered taxable income. Now, if you strategize this the right way, tax wise, if you use it for something that can be, used as a tax write-off, things like that, then it may not hit you as hard. But that is something to think about when you get into, the decision of whether or not you should pull this 401k for real estate investing. There is a 10% penalty, which you can wait to the end of the year to pay, and you're also going to be considered earned income. So again, it's all something you want to consider when getting into this and looking into it.
Around some of those penalties, once you've decided you do want to tap into your 401k.
Okay, and there's ways around it.
One, of course, is you can take a loan against the 401k. So if you are still employed by your employer, 9 times out of 10, again, every employer is different, every 401k plan is different, but in most cases, you can borrow against your 401k if you're still employed there and pay a very low low interest rate. And this is really a smart thing to do because you're borrowing money from yourself. You didn't take the money out of the 401k. It's still there. They loaned you against it at a very low rate. So you borrowed against that money. You're leveraging that money that you already have there. That's one way. Take a loan from the 401k.
I'm sorry to keep stopping, but that one I had to talk about because that's exactly what I did to actually get myself out of debt. I paid off my car really quickly. And so what I did is basically I paid the car with a line of credit. I paid the car cash flat out. A 2017 Dodge Challenger. I still have it right now. I paid that out cash. Okay. Now the problem was the interest on that was 14%. I didn't really care because I was going to pay it off really quickly. But I decided, hey, I looked into my 401k and I learned that you can take a loan against your 401k and not get that penalty. And like she said, the interest rate is really low. My interest rate was 1%. So it made a lot of sense for me to use that 401k to go ahead and pay that debt off because it's 1% versus 14%. So that payment obviously was a lot lower and it saved me money in the end. So again, I'm just putting out a lot of little nuggets within this just to, to give y'all some free games. So if y'all got y'all notebooks out, hey, y'all definitely want to write notes on this. So yeah, this is one way.
The other thing that you could do is, and this is a little bit more tricky, whenever you're buying a home, okay, for a primary residence, they do let you take the money out for a 401k. That's one of the caveats that they let you do.
Yep.
But it has to be a primary residence. So for some people, this works. For other people, it doesn't. But I'm going to give you a super secret tip on how I did it and how I bought a rental property without buying a rental property with my 401k. And here's how I did it. So here's how I took money out of my 401k and bought an investment property because it's not technically allowed. You have to buy a primary residence. So think about that for a second. I know I've talked to you about real estate and having, multiple properties, multiple doors, multiple units. And so if you're buying a multi-unit property, for example, that could be a primary residence if you live in one of the units.
Okay.
So I basically, and I've done this and I've taught many of my students how to do this, especially if you don't already own a home, where you can tap into that 401k, buy a house with that money, and then rent out the other units so that you truly had a rental property right from the beginning and you bought it with your 401k. And then last but not least, I'm going to give you one more sneaky, tricky way that you could tap into your 401k without tapping into your 401k to invest in real estate. And this one is going to require a link because this video will be way too long.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the secret sauce right now. There are these types of loans called RELOCs. They're called real estate lines of credit.
Okay.
And many times you can borrow 5, 10 times what you have in those assets, and they will give you a line of credit to purchase real estate property.
What?
And really and truly, this is a newer product, so hopefully you're watching this video in 2020, 2021, and you know that this did not exist many years ago. And this is something new that you have that you can do, and you can start leveraging your own 401k.
Wow, that's cool.
Without actually liquidating it and without actually taking the money out of it. So I'm going to give you a link below. You really want to start looking into RELOCs and those lines of credit so that you can build your portfolio with your 401k without spending the money in your 401k.
Now that's some free game.
All right. Well, that wraps up this video. Ken.
Okay. Great video. I actually learned a lot in this video. We all saw kind of, what we were talking about here. You got to understand, yes, first and foremost, you can use your line of credit. Use your 401k to purchase real estate. You want to, in making that decision, you want to weigh the tax penalties. You want to understand that first and foremost. You want to understand there's a 10% penalty up front that you can wait to the end of the tax year to pay it, but there is a 10% early withdrawal fee, as well as you have to, that new money that you put in there is counted as earned income now. So ideally you want to pull from your 401k when you are in a low income tax bracket, which is, again, this is why I decided that I would do it. I actually pulled from my 401k to purchase a real estate property, and I ended up flipping it. So I ended up making, $10,000 on that property. Now I will have to pay $2,900 at the end of the year for pulling that. And I'm also going to, again, have $29,000 added as earned income. However, I pulled it when on paper I make next to nothing. So I won't see a huge tax penalty. One, because I'm in business. Two, because I'm investing in real estate. And this is the strategies that, is key in making these decisions. You have to understand how these things work, and then you have to understand how to make it work for you. It's always a decision-making process in this, but I hope that, listening to this, viewing this, you learn something and it will help you in your process. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and smash that like button, and also comment below if you've ever done this or if you knew about this real estate line of credit. I didn't know about that, so that's something I learned. So, hey, I enjoyed this video greatly, and I hope you did as well. Hey, if you want to learn more about personal financial strategies like this and other things, I actually teach financial strategies. I am a financial coach. You can book a free financial consultation with me at www.moneymike313.com. That link's going to pop up on the screen here in a second. Go on there, book your appointment, and let's get you on the right side of the money. Hey, this has been Money Mike with Can I Use My 401k for Real Estate Investing? Hope you all enjoyed the video. And as always, I love you. God loves you. He smiles when he sees you, and he sees you all the time, so he's always smiling. So why aren't we? Hey, y'all have a great one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Catch you guys on the next one. God bless you all. Gone.